Good evening. I am Charles Montorio Archer, President and CEO at One Hope United, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to our sixth Hope in Action Gala. This year's event is helping us commemorate a milestone anniversary. Since our founding in 1895, we have had 125 years of continuous service, providing the foundation for our theme tonight, a legacy of life without limits. As we launched the plans for the gala earlier this year, we actually set a record for Hope in Action sponsorships and ticket sales. By March 20th of this year, with just 4 weeks of promotion, we surpassed our total sponsorship and ticket sales last year. The early pledges of support and engagement contributed to how very disappointed we were to reach the point where we had to pivot to a virtual gala. As I know many of you have heard, Ermit L. Finch, a longtime champion and former program participant, passed away in mid-September at the age of 86. There's no better place to recognize this remarkable man's achievements and accomplishments than during tonight's event. In 1948, Ermit arrived at One Hope United, at that time the Central Baptist Children's Home in Lake Villa, Illinois. After surviving his parents' death and inhumane conditions at an orphanage in Arkansas, he went on to raise a family and have a successful career as a businessman in the construction industry. Despite the trauma of his childhood, Ermit had a unique fondness for his experience and journey, including his time in Lake Villa. Ermit became the first participant to serve on the One Hope United Board of Directors, was named a Life Director, and in 2019, the Lake Villa campus was renamed to the Ermit L. Finch campus at Lake Villa just before celebrating his 85th birthday. Last year, Ermit instantaneously received me as the new president and CEO, and he has always met me with encouraging words about ensuring, and I quote, "Our children are taken care of and remain the priority," end quote. His compassion for children in care, belief that everyone should have a chance to improve their lives, and love for our organization was unparalleled. He personified One Hope United's mission, values, and vision. His life shows the potential in each of us to live a limitless life. Remember our theme for tonight, a legacy of life without limit. Ermit was the embodiment of it all. Never when we began planning this gala did we imagine that Ermit would not be a part of tonight's event. Shortly, you will hear from his wife, Johnny, as she presents the Ermit L. Finch Service Award, this year more special than ever for several reasons. I want to dedicate tonight to Ermit. I know he is with us and very proud of what we're going to accomplish. Last month, at One Hope United's annual community meeting, I set out a bold vision for our organization, and part of it included the needs of youth transitioning out of care. More than 23,000 children would age out of the U.S. foster care system this year. After reaching the age of 18, 20% of the children who were in foster care will become instantly homeless. We're on our way to seeing this vision become a reality because of the impact of our programs and services. In 2019, One Hope United's Impact Family Services earned a 4.7 out of 5 satisfaction rating for serving nearly 1,100 families with in-home case management services to prevent children from entering the foster care system. In Florida, we served nearly 2,600 individuals with child welfare case management for children remaining in their homes, those who lived with relatives, and others residing in foster or group homes. And in Illinois, we served over 4,500 individuals with counseling support, in-home case management, foster, and adoption care. We were able to accomplish this last year because of the generosity of supporters like yourself. Ermit was a testament to what can be accomplished when a child in our care has the right support in place to learn independence, to become confident and taught to believe in what they can achieve and accomplish. Tonight, we're here for these children. The funds we raise tonight are critical to create another generation of Ermit Finches who can truly live a life without limits. Finally, this gala celebration of 125 years of service would not be possible without the support of our generous sponsors, those who brought tables and tickets. I'd like to especially thank our anniversary sponsors who each contributed $25,000, Greg and Anna Brown, the Young Family, and International Two Works ITW. Our Hope in Action sponsors, who generally contributed $10,000, include the Yargis family and Fifth Third Bank. Thank you all for joining us tonight from wherever you may be across the country, and even a few in other countries. Together, we can continue to create a life without limits for the thousands of people we serve. Now, let's turn hope into action and start the show.
125 years of One Hope United, it means understanding. It means experience and sustainability. It means that One Hope United is so much more than a child welfare agency. One Hope United is a legacy.
My name is Ermit Finch. I lived in the orphanage for many years. I had moved from the TB center. Parents died within 30 days of each other. So I was lucky they had a place to put my sister and me. Lake Villa was paradise. On the lake. Learned how to fish. We felt lucky. We didn't know how really well off we were with institutional side of life.
The work that is being done at One Hope United is important because children are our future. If we do not invest and pour into our children, then what type of future do we have? What One Hope does is they take children where they are and who they are, and they provide them with the resources that helps them to achieve and to overcome and to be the best child and the best student that they can be.
About 23 years ago, I was teaching high school English. Don Murdoch, who was then the executive director, asked if I would be interested in promoting one of the early learning centers. I never looked back. The work that we do with children strengthens individuals, it strengthens families, and ultimately it strengthens the community where these children live.
So I first got connected to One Hope because I actually lived at the Lake Villa campus between the ages of 14 to 18. And that was really my start of overcoming some trauma that I experienced in my life. I kind of came to One Hope broken. And through One Hope, I was able to find purpose.
The next decade for One Hope United is brighter, it's impactful, it's influential in the spaces that can create advocacy on behalf of total and complete family development. As long as there are children who are in need of education, as long as there are youth who need residential support, as long as there are children and youth who both need foster care and potential adoption, the work at One Hope United will always have a value, not just to myself, our board members, or our Hope members, but to the larger community.
Good evening and welcome. I'd like to echo Charles' appreciation for all of you joining us for our 6th annual Hope in Action Gala, and our very first one that's virtual. You know, many of us are disappointed that we're not dressed up and celebrating our 125th anniversary as we had planned. But tonight's not about fancy clothes and it's not about good food. It's about the kids, plain and simple. I appreciate every one of you who's joining us to support our mission. We strive to provide hope and well being for our kids and their families. Our One Hope family is focused every day on providing safe and stable environments for children while we address the needs they and their families have. We seek to help them live a life without limit. I want to extend a special thanks to my good friends, Greg and Anna Brown, along with Rosemary Matzel and the entire ITW team. Their generous support of tonight's event at the anniversary sponsorship level inspired my own family to join them. So thank you to all who have already given tonight, either as sponsors or by purchasing tickets. And guess what? We're not going to limit you if you want to give more during the show. For those of you who haven't already done so, I ask that you consider a generous gift to support our important work. Thank you for taking the time to participate, and I do look forward to us all being together again someday soon to celebrate the children and families we serve. Now it's my privilege to present the Chairman's Award. Each year, the chair of One Hope United's Board of Directors recognizes an organization's leadership in creating an initiative that delivers economic, social, or environmental benefits to the surrounding community. The recipient of this award embodies One Hope United's value of empowering one another. This is a critical value within our own organization because it's focused on our employees, asking them to collaborate and encourage others toward greater impact. I'm very proud to announce that the recipient of the 2020 Chairman's Award is the Illinois Collaboration on Youth. Accepting the award will be their CEO, Andrea Durbin. Let me tell you a little bit about ICOI. ICOI's mission is to promote the safety, health, and economic success of Illinois children, youth, and families. They fulfill their mission by supporting and gathering the collective voice of Illinois' child welfare and youth services. They ensure that we have the resources we need to help young people from all backgrounds succeed. Just a little background. ICOIA was founded in 1979 to serve as a statewide advocacy network focused on building the capacity of the Illinois programs and services that support at-risk youth. They advocate for legislation, policies, and practices that keep children, youth, and their families safe and healthy. ICOI now represents nearly 100 organizations across our state. I'd also like to tell you a little bit about Andrea. She joined ICOI as CEO in 2012. Under her leadership, they led the effort to ensure that human service providers, like One Hope United, were paid for the work they did during Illinois' historic and destructive state budget impasse. They created and led the Pay Now Illinois Coalition. Simply stated, their work helped One Hope United and many other child service organizations survive during some incredibly challenging times. We're very grateful for ICOI, and in particular, we're very grateful for Andrea. She serves on several high-level committees and work groups representing the needs of at-risk children and youth and the agencies that serve them. This includes serving on Governor Pritzker's Healthy Families and Communities Transition Team, as well as representing providers through the Social Services Advisory Council and the Child Welfare Advisory Committee. I am incredibly proud to recognize the Illinois Coalition on Youth and Andrea Durbin with One Hope United's Chairman's Award. Congratulations.
Good evening. On behalf of the Illinois Collaboration on Youth, I want to thank the Board of Directors of One Hope United for this award. Since 1964, ICOI and its antecedents have been working as a collective voice to develop and improve systems serving children, youth, and families in Illinois, and to strengthen the community-based organizations like One Hope United that serve them. This past year has posed astonishing challenges for us as individuals, as members of a community, as organizations, and as an association. Responding to a worldwide pandemic and confronting systemic racism has stretched us far beyond our comfort zones in often painful ways and challenged us to rethink our foundational concerns for safety and security. We are reimagining ourselves and what we owe to each other to achieve a healthy society where everyone has the potential to thrive. Sometimes it has meant that we are collaborating to create and innovate at the speed of light, finding new ways to serve children and youth while protecting them and our workforce from exposure to a deadly disease. Sometimes it means that we are engaged in hard conversations about the ways the systems we work in, the organizations and missions we serve, and the careers we have built for ourselves are themselves built on systemic racism that devalues children and families of color. One Hope United's Chairman's Award is a recognition for empowering one another, for collaborating and encouraging others towards greater impact. I'm especially fond of the word collaboration, not only because it's part of our name, but also because it embodies the concept of working together for a common goal. And that's what's truly needed if we're going to create a society in which Black and brown lives matter as much as white lives do. We have to be willing to take risks and to be vulnerable, to trust one another and to look into our own hearts, to discern how we can learn and change for the better. And that also means changing how we advocate and what we advocate for. As an association of community-based organizations, service to members has been a top priority, helping you solve problems and ensuring you have the resources you need to do your work. That kind of transactional advocacy is the bread and butter of membership associations. Now we are leaning in more to transformational advocacy and asking ourselves important questions about how we can use our collective voice to fundamentally challenge and alter systems to better serve children, youth, and families. I'm proud to say that One Hope United and other organizations are currently engaged in a generative dialogue about how we can confront the systemic racism built into our foster care system. Family separation, forcible family separation, has its roots in slavery. That injustice has left a legacy of trauma and suffering that continues to this day. Over the course of child welfare history in Illinois, there have been significant concerns about loss of cultural identity and family ties, a continuing struggle to hire and keep a bilingual workforce, and many other challenges. We know that Black children are disproportionately represented in the child welfare system and that their outcomes are disproportionately worse. The youth who age out of the system are far too likely to lack the tools, skills, resources, and relationships needed to be successful as adults. We must address this. Confronting systemic racism means that we also must address the issue of who we are as leaders and as a coalition, who our staff and board members are, who the children and families we serve are. These conversations are not easy or brief, and they must shape our advocacy going forward. I am beyond grateful to have the partnership of Charles and Antoine and the rest of the staff and board of One Hope United as we forge our way forward together. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Trina Stevenson, and I'm a One Hope United case manager in Bartow, Florida. I want to share a recent success story with you about a client. We will call her Grace. When I think about my work with Grace, I'm reminded how perseverance and motivation can help people change their behavior. I began working with Grace after she was involved in a judicial case of domestic violence and substance misuse. Grace's substance misuse resulted in the removal of her child, a boy. After being removed from the home, her child was placed with maternal grandparents. You know, they said over time, Grace's behavior and substance misuse resulted in explosive outbursts, aggression with family members, betrayal, loss of trust, and neglectful behavior to her oldest child. This continued over the years, which validated the family's distrust and gave them a sense that Grace wasn't willing to change. But when I started to work with Grace, she immediately was willing to work with me. Grace made the decision that she would move forward to try and make a better life for herself and her child. Knowing that her child's father was in denial and not willing to change, Grace made the difficult decision to end her romantic relationship with her child's father. Grace then began a journey that would require self-reflection, determination, and consistency in her actions and behavior. Over the coming months, she has completed recommended services for individual therapy, substance misuse treatment and counseling, VIC-6 for domestic violence with the parenting component, and in-home parenting and supervision. Within 6 months, Grace was reunited with her son, and after 6 more months of supervision, the case was closed. Grace is a great example of how learning how to value yourself, the love you have for your child, and increasing your caregiver protective capacities results in a success. Working with Grace reminds me that anyone who is determined and focused on their goals and tasks can be successful with the appropriate support system. Today, Grace is employed, she's doing well, and ensuring that all of her child's needs are being met. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you've been enjoying our Hope in Action Gala, celebrating 125 years of serving children and families. You just heard the story of Grace and the role our staff play in providing support, encouragement, and hope for people who are fighting to create a better life for themselves and their children. As a mother of 2 young children, I am in awe of the strength and ability Grace had to overcome her challenges for the sake of reuniting with her son. This is why your support and the proceeds of tonight's event are so critical, directly supporting the work we do for all of the Graces out there. As you see on your screen, we entered the night having raised over $226,000, and I'm excited to share that our goal before the event ends is to reach a total of $260,000. To help us along, we have a significant matching challenge right now. RJ Young, our board chair, and his family are offering to match 5 $1,000 gifts. Please consider how a $1,000 donation, which becomes $2,000 with the match, can help provide stability and resources for the next Grace who needs our help tomorrow. I'll be keeping you posted on our progress throughout the show, so stay tuned and thank you in advance for your support tonight. Each year, the Leadership in Giving Award is presented to those who have significantly advanced One Hope United's mission through generous financial support, inspiring others to give as well. I am pleased to present this year's award to a dynamic couple, Jean Ward and Judge Bill Taylor. Jean and Bill began supporting One Hope in early 2016, quickly growing from new donors and first-time Hope in Action guests to become 2 of our greatest advocates and partners. They have engaged their network in learning about the work of the organization in many ways, inviting friends and colleagues to attend events, introducing them to our leadership, and spotlighting One Hope United as their featured charity at birthday and holiday celebrations. They have made a direct and powerful impact upon the children and families we serve through the Wish Book, supporting items like bedroom decorations to help children in residential care feel at home, and offering emergency help for families in crisis. Several years ago, One Hope United shared with Jean and Bill that Sparks, structured psychotherapy for adolescents responding to chronic stress, was in danger of being canceled in the city of Chicago. Sparks is a critical program that provides teens who have experienced trauma with the opportunity to participate in programs that teach healthy ways of dealing with stressful situations and skills that can curb violence. Upon learning of this challenge, Jean and Bill made a generous contribution that helped ensure the continuation of the program in Cook County. Jean and Bill have become members of the One Hope United family by spending time with members of our board, staff, volunteers, and fellow donors over the years. They are respected throughout the organization for embodying our values and effecting lasting change in the lives of children and families in the communities we serve. Jean and Bill, I am honored to present this year's Leadership in Giving Award to you. Thank you so much for your support.
Bill and I are honored to be receiving this award. We don't feel an award is warranted when we're simply giving to keep an important program, the Sparks program, alive. Once we learned about the Sparks program and the important support it gives teens in crisis, we were impressed. When we heard it was badly in need of funding to stay afloat, we decided we couldn't let that happen. I'm going to let Bill tell you the rest.
Well, I agree with Jean that receiving this award is a little embarrassing. My parents taught me that when you donate, you do it without expecting praise or recognition. You do it because it's the right thing to do. You give to help others. And for the first time in my life, I'm going to disobey my parents. Okay, maybe for the last time in my life, I'm going to disobey them by accepting this award. Now, when I attend award ceremonies and people ask me what was the best speech, I always answer the shortest one. And I hope I win the best speech from everyone here tonight. Now, when we were told that One Hope United had to drop the Sparks program due to the lack of funding, Jean and I agreed that this program was too important to end. We agreed that we would fund the program not just for 1 year, but for at least the next 3 years. The Sparks program serves teens experiencing traumatic events in their lives, including violence, ongoing stress, and the lack of self-awareness. Sparks teaches that there are other ways for young people to cope with their daily troubles in life. Sparks provides the tools needed for teens to make positive connection with their peers and adults, and not just to use violence to respond to violence. Now, 349 students have been served since One Hope United began implementing the park programs in Cook and Lake counties, and we are hopeful that this program will continue to be very successful in the future. Now, as a judge, I've had many cases involving the damage to children caused by the environment we live in. And in one case in my courtroom, which has just been released as a movie, the damage inflicted to a foster child and the foster family was horrible. The justice system could never make the family whole. And One Hope United helps where the justice system cannot. Now, in this movie called Foster Boy, a brilliant and remarkable judge, played by Lou Gossett Jr., who happens to be named Judge Taylor, attempts to help a foster boy who has been abused by the for-profit foster system. It shows the damage that our society does to innocent children. The Sparks program and the entire One Hope United mission helps families where our justice system does not. And that is why Jean and I are so dedicated to One Hope United. They simply save people. They give families hope and make our world a better place to live in. So on behalf of Lou Gossett Jr., I want to thank the Academy for this Oscar, but more importantly, Jean and I want to thank One Hope United for this award and the great dedicated work that the entire staff does for helping families in need of social programs.
Hello, my name is Lakeithia Butler, and I'm a counseling supervisor for One Hope United. So, SPARK stands for Structured Psychotherapy for Adolescents that are responding to chronic stress. And so, basically, it's a 16-week program that allows youth to talk about coping skills. So, when I think about the impact that Sparks has had on our youth, a student that we'll call Alex definitely comes to mind. And so when she came in, the group was already sort of formed, and so it was hard for her initially to make that initial connection with her group members. But unfortunately, toward the end of the group, we also noticed that her attendance started to decline. And that's when I was informed that the school had a mediation meeting with her. And in that mediation meeting is where they told her because of her attendance, she may not be able to participate in her senior activities. And so that's where she had the opportunity to figure out what was actually triggering her, and make meaning of that situation, process her feelings, and really think about what she wanted to accomplish in this situation. And so for her, she wanted to participate in her senior activities. She didn't believe that it was her fault because unfortunately she had to take on a caregiving role for her grandma. And so those are things that she doesn't really have control over, but in that situation, she can control her emotions, she can control her behavior. And so that's when we role play a conversation between her and the school officials so that she could effectively advocate for herself and take accountability for her actions. And so once she was able to process all of that, we role played that. She set up a meeting with her school officials, and they gave her all these tasks and requirements that she did need to meet in order to participate in her senior activities, which ultimately she was able to do. The Sparks program isn't just for youth that have experienced a lot of trauma. I believe it's beneficial for all adolescents. I know that it says, chronic stress, but if we just think about youth in today's society, they're all stressed. And stress, everyone experiences stress, and it's always good to learn coping skills and new techniques that can be beneficial down the line.
It's inspiring to see what success young people like Alex can have when given the proper resources and support. I'm proud of Alex and her fortitude to overcome the obstacles she faced. Like Alex, all of the families One Hope United serves rely on the generosity of our supporters to see their success stories come true. Now, I just saw that we have exceeded our goal already. So we are raising our goal to $285,000. Thank you again to everyone who has given so generously to attend tonight, and for those of you who have given online since the event began. Thank you all. No matter the size of your gift, every dollar enables us to make an exponential impact in the lives of others. I'm so excited to share that we have met the match from the RJ Young family. We're off to a great start tonight. Thank you all. My fellow board member, Byron De Silva, has a challenge to issue as well. Byron is offering $2,500 to match 5 $500 contributions. That means making a gift of $500 now can be doubled, and meeting this match will collectively generate a total of $5,000 to support our work.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Johnny Mickles Finch, and I'm so honored to be with you tonight to present the Ermit Finch Impact Award, named for my late husband. Each year, this award recognizes a member or members of the One Hope United community who make a meaningful impact in the lives of children, youth, and families. At the beginning of tonight's program, you heard Charles speak of Ermit's history with One Hope United and the lifetime duration of his involvement. Last November, Ermit and I had lunch with members of the One Hope United team to discuss who should be honored this year. One Hope United staff member Joyce Henneberry was a part of that lunch, but little did she know that we would surprise her with the announcement that Joyce and her husband Rich would be the recipients of this year's award. During the initial discussion of the 2020 recipients, Ermit was overjoyed and moved to tears with the selection of the henneberries, and both of us reacted the same way again when we witnessed Joyce's shock. Of course, at that time, we had no idea that Ermit himself wouldn't be here to share in this celebration, or that all of us would not be together in person to give our standing ovation to this couple, these two awesome people who epitomize the spirit and heart of One Hope United. For the past 5 years, this award has been given in honor of Ermit, recognizing the man he became because of his time on the Lakeville campus, renamed, by the way, the Ermit L. Finch campus in April of 2019 to honor him. And this year, well, my heart is heavy, saddened, privileged, and humbled to make the first presentation of the award in his memory. Now, let me just say something I believe Ermit would be emphasizing for this introduction. This couple does not need an introduction. If you out there have ever had anything to do with One Hope United for any moment or time over more than 20 years, you would know that Joyce walks and talks the mission and history of the organization. She embodies all passion for kids, their needs, and how they can be filled. Her talent and gift as an effective fundraiser is world class. As much heart she puts into finding ways to fulfill the needs of the kids, she also gives to donors and volunteers. Joyce could not get enough of the human experience of those the organization served. She took good care of the alumni group and organized functions for those still available to meet and reminisce about the historic campus and the life experiences that they had at Lakeville home. Ermit and I have worked with Joyce and Rich side by side, served on committees, and supported countless activities over the years. We all often commented on how One Hope United got the 2-for-1 package with her and Rich and me and Ermit. Rich and Joyce are tireless when it comes to their presence in front of and behind the scenes on campus, in the community, and downtown, supporting and promoting One Hope United. Their combined impact is immeasurable. And although Joyce is staff, Rich has always been there as a supporter and volunteer on that campus, and as a fundraiser too, a champion of the annual golf outing. So there are no two finer people than Rich and Joyce Henneberry to receive this honor, especially with Ermit knowing they were the chosen ones. If we were in a ballroom together right now, he would have us all on our feet for them. It is now my true privilege to recognize Joyce and Rich Henneberry with One Hope United's 2020 Ermit Finch Impact Award.
Thank you, Johnny. Receiving the Ermit Finch Impact Award is both humbling and a gift of immeasurable honor for us. This is humbling because it's a recognition for doing acts and work we love. If you're fortunate enough to find work you love, it's not work. My years at One Hope United with my trusted advisor and consultant, Rich, have been a privilege. The honor piece of this award for us is that it has Ermit's name on it. Many years ago, when Ermit came to the campus looking for pieces of his childhood, a wonderful friendship began. He always had the way of making one feel that they were the most important person in the world. Knowing Ermit and hearing all the stories he shared, I got to see the mission of living a life without limits through him. His life is a testament to his resolve and to the impact of supporting children in need. I've gotten to spend the majority of my time at One Hope United with Ermit and Johnny and witness how it's transitioned from an orphanage and foster care to the wide scope of work serving thousands of children and families annually. Rich and I are deeply grateful.
I'd first like to share my condolences to Johnny and her family for the passing of Ermit. It's such an honor to be recognized for the Ermit Finch Impact Award. Both of us feel very grateful. I'd also like to thank Charles, RJ, Todd, and the entire leadership team for this award. I became involved involved shortly after Joyce began her career at One Hope United, supporting events such as the golf outing, the Blue Ribbon event, the advisory board events such as the Christmas and Thanksgiving dinners, packaging and delivering Christmas presents to all the children of One Hope United during the holidays, providing marketing support, and much more. Joyce was the architect of many of these events. She's built and created a number of relationships over the years, many of which will last for a long, long time in the future. She, like Ermit, has been a role model and example for One Hope United. Her love, along with Ermit's, and passion for the mission, vision, and values of One Hope are an inspiration to all of us. We thank you again for this honor of being recognized for this award.
Hello, my name is Jamie Godoyo, and I am a residential counselor and case manager at One Hope United's Centralia, Illinois campus. Tonight, as we reflect on One Hope United's legacy of life without limits, I want to share just one example of how I've seen this mission lived out in my own work. In the spring of 2019, a young lady that we will call Corey was admitted to One Hope United's residential facility in Centralia, Illinois. Her trauma history was extensive. Her default for months was to express suicidal ideations in order to be psychiatrically hospitalized. The Wilson Home team, a team that provides daily living skills, group therapy, counseling, and other treatments to female youth 14 to 18 years old, worked with Corey to help provide some structure and extra individualized time. By Christmas, Corey was really thriving. She was responding well to treatment and was even allowed to get a local job. Part of Corey's struggle, though, was connected to her lack of relationship with her biological father. Corey's father was ordered to have no contact with her at a very young age, and despite knowing that he was a registered sex offender, she continued to express to One Hope United staff and her caseworker that she wanted to have contact with him. On February 26th, Corey left her workplace, and One Hope United staff reported her missing that evening. It turned out that Corey had been in contact with her father via social media. He provided her with a bus ticket to his home in Pennsylvania sometime shortly after was when she was reported missing. No one heard from Corey until March 7th, when she reached out to a member of the Wilson Home clinical team via Facebook Messenger. During this conversation, she said she had been sexually and physically assaulted and she did not feel safe. The One Hope United staff member that received this message reached out to a supervisor and the police were contacted. I was also notified and felt it was necessary to get her back to One Hope United as soon as possible. Within about an hour, the police had Corey in custody and were contacting the local child protection unit. The police also took Corey's biological father into custody. Corey stayed in the emergency room of the local hospital until she was transferred to a psychiatric placement on March 20th. Throughout the month, multiple conversations occurred and all travel plans continued to be placed on hold due to the COVID-19 outbreak. As part of the Wilson Home clinical team, I was adamant that she needed to return to us and asked almost daily when this could occur. I talked with her frequently by phone and did some counseling with her during this time. On March 31st, we had a lengthy phone conversation with all the necessary people involved. After the call and approval was given, I worked with Corey's caseworker and got on a plane to Pennsylvania the next day. On April 1st, I met Corey at the Philadelphia airport. Corey immediately started to cry, and I just gave her a big hug. Corey's been back at One Hope United Residential for a few weeks now, and it's going to be a long road for her, but she's expressed that she feels safe, and she feels like her team at One Hope United really cares about her. This experience was one of the most memorable of my nearly 10 years at One Hope United. Reflecting on this experience now, I think it demonstrates how all of us at One Hope United want the kids we serve to have a life without limits. I also think it demonstrates how we genuinely care about our kids and their well-being and will do what we believe is right to make sure that they feel protected and safe. 307. Thank you, Jamie, for sharing that perspective and for your ongoing commitment to keeping children like Corey safe. Corey's story is frightening to me. There might have been a very different and tragic outcome if it weren't for the diligence and determination of our One Hope United staff. I want to take a moment now and give a sincere expression of gratitude to the entire OHU staff who are on the front line each and every day. Extraordinary and heroic are a few of the words that come to mind for me. Yet for our staff, they see it as their calling to serve and care.
As tonight's virtual program is about to come to an end, we need your help to make sure we have the resources to protect all of the Corys out there. Each day, we're serving more than 2,000 children in Florida, Illinois, Missouri, and Wisconsin, many of them living through or coming from very similar situations. Now, you're seeing the donations scroll across your screen, and we're so grateful for your generosity tonight. Even though we aren't together in person, it's amazing to know so many people are tuned in across the country supporting an organization we all care so much about. And great news! Thanks to your generosity, we are 2 for 2 as we have met Byron's $2,500 match. Thank you all. And there's still time to do more. Every dollar will be used to support our organization's mission and the people you've heard about tonight. Let's see how much more we can raise. Before Charles wraps up the evening with our last award and closing thoughts, board member Rosemary Matzel has presented our final challenge of the night. All gifts up to $5,000 will be matched by Rosemary until 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time tonight. Thank you, Rosemary. I want to express my sincere appreciation to each of you who purchased tickets, came as guests, and gave so generously in support of our mission. With your help, we can continue enhancing the lives and futures for nearly 10,000 people every year in the 4 states where we offer programs and services. Thank you again, and remember, every dollar counts, especially now in the race to meet Rosemary's $5,000 challenge. Please don't let us end the night without meeting this final challenge and exceeding the $307,097 that's already been given.
This year's President's Award recipient is someone who, as a foster child and adopted youth, overcame adversity and abuse and has used his experience to advocate for the next generation in foster care. He was a resident of One Hope United's Care Residential Program in Lake Villa, and his advocacy has included working on more than 25 pieces of legislation, co-founding the Illinois Foster Care Alumni of America chapter, of which he served as president for 5 years, and lobbying for laws which made foster youth documentation affordable and tuition waivers for foster youth who age out of the system possible. He has served on the National Youth and Alumni Policy Council and the Illinois Child Welfare Advisory Committee on Older Youth, and continues to be a strong vocal advocate for improving the foster care system. It is my honor to present the President's Award to James McIntyre.
Thank you, Charles and One Hope United, for the award and recognition. I would have never thought that the 15-year-old who entered One Hope United would ever achieve all that I could achieve. I dedicate this award to the survivors and the ones we have lost to childhood abuse and neglect. To Howard, Chris, Cindy, Nancy, Rosemary, and Dave, who welcomed me into their lives and families, thank you for taking a chance on me. And lastly, to the legislators and all the other advocates who've stood by my side in this fight for a more just and responsive child welfare system, thank you. However, I do not do this work for the awards or recognition. I do this work because I know our young people are going through every day. Every year, hundreds of young people age out of the foster care system with no adult connections. Now more than ever, we should not expect a 21-year-old traumatized young adult can live independently with no support. We need to invest in programming that helps our young adults find their passion, like Joyce Henneberry did for me many years ago. Investing financially in peer mentors so those like myself who want to give back to the next generation of foster youth have jobs. This is only the beginning for me, and I hope I can live up to at least half the expectations that come with this award. Just remember that separate we fall, but together we can achieve the unachievable. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Your generosity this evening continues to make the life-changing work we do every day possible. For those of you who've given before, we greatly appreciate your ongoing support. To each of you who've donated for the first time this evening, we look forward to keeping you engaged in our mission and sharing with all our donors what great work the proceeds of tonight will accomplish. Know that your support enhances our ability to deliver our mission, demonstrates a community exists to rally around children, youth, and families in need, and provides a brighter future for all we serve. I am so glad you were able to join us tonight. Thank you.